When he says in chapter 2, verse 14, the wise can see where they are going, but fools walk in the dark. What he's saying is, if life under the sun is all that there is, then it's better to be a fool, because a fool has no idea that life is meaningless. He's blind. Fools are so busy pursuing and practicing foolery that they're blind to the fact that life under the sun is empty and hopeless. He says the wiser you are, the more knowledgeable you are, the harder things get. Your sorrows increase because you begin to see things as they really are. In fact, he concludes that if this is all there is, wisdom and foolishness are closer than we think. All the hard work it takes to become wise means nothing in the end. After all, if this is all there is, what makes wisdom better than foolishness, he says? And who decides what's wise and what's foolish? In other words, if this is all there is, and death is the end for all of us, then it's foolish to pursue wisdom as your Savior. Kurt Cobain was much more of a philosopher than a rocker. His music marked the birth of grunge, the whole grunge scene, which was a philosophical criticism of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll pursuit of pleasure that marked the 80s music scene. You know, the hair metal bands, Poison sang, singing about that there's nothing but a good time, everything's fine, sex, drugs, and rock and roll will save the day, just have fun, life is all about having fun, don't look at the hard stuff, ignore the hard stuff, just party your way through life. For if this is all there is, then let's eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. That didn't sit well with Kurt Cobain. And so grunge music really was a philosophical criticism of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll philosophy that marked the 80s music scene. Drugs in the grunge scene were prevalent too, but instead of being a way to dull the pain, they were admissions of the pain. In fact, their use of drugs was a confession that life is void of meaning. And so Cobain realized that pleasure didn't bring peace, so he pursued under the sun wisdom. He once said, "The worst crime is faking it, not being real. Tell it like it is, however dark it may be. Talk about it, look at it square in the face, acknowledge it." He saw the depressing reality of life, and he sung honestly about it. He said, "If I can bravely acknowledge the absurdity of life, I may spare myself from it." I respect that. But this ultimately led him to despair. He once said, "If my eyes could show my soul, everyone would cry when they see me smile." He put a shotgun to his chin and pulled the trigger. His body was found on April 8th, 1994, and he'd been dead for 3 days. You see, the truth is that if this is all that there is, and the only sane thing to do, the wisest thing to do, is to die sooner rather than later. The existentialist philosophers of the 1930s and 40s and 50s wrestled with that. The sanity of suicide they talked about. That if this is all that there is, then suicide is a sane solution. That's where life without God leads us. That's what it leaves us with. Life without God means that we must find the meaning of life on our own. We have to find it. We have to search high and low, long and hard if we ever hope to find some lasting answers, lasting peace, lasting meaning. It's entirely up to us to find the things we need most: significance and purpose and love, those things that we crave, those things that we need down deep. It's up to us. We have to find it.